Hi everyone, and welcome to the Rhinebeck Rewind 2023. I had such a whirlwind of a weekend with so many amazing interactions and events, and I'm so excited to finally sit down and relax and share what a good time I had with all of you. I opened up this podcast with footage from the 3 festivals I attended this weekend, which were Cakepalooza, Woolen Folk, and the actual Rhinebeck Festival. I have a separate video on Woolen Folk. I encourage you to watch it, but I will not be discussing anything about that negatively in this video. I will be focusing on only the highlights and the good time that was had. So the first event that we attended was Cakepalooza. Cakepalooza is run by Cake Wool Co. on their property for their dye studio, and it is such an amazing and well-organized event. There are a few different time slots that you can purchase tickets for so that there is no overcrowding. The first one started at 10 o'clock and ran till 11:50, and that was the ticket that I purchased. So I had the first time slot. I was happy to see this year that everyone was a little more prepared for the volume of people that would be there. And after my time slot was finished, there was still plenty of things for other time slots to purchase. And that just made my heart happy so that no one missed out. We made it to Cakepalooza, and I love this event so much. It has such a good vibe, such great vendors, such great community, and it is so much fun. So I was able to purchase a couple things from a couple different vendors, and I will list the link to the vendor list for Cakepalooza down below in the description box so you can see and support all the vendors that were there. The next event that we went to was Woolen Folk, and I have a separate video outlining the events on Woolen Folk, but like I said, I'm focusing on the positive things. The footage that I showed you was the best that I could get based on the circumstances, and I'm choosing now to focus on those makers and support them. If you haven't already heard, they have experienced some difficulties, and I will also be linking the full entire vendor list for Woolen Folk 2023 down below so that you may also support those vendors. The third festival we went to on Saturday and Sunday was the Rhinebeck Festival, which was this year, there's hair in my ear, which this year was amazing. So many people showed up this year, and it made my heart so full because I've been going to Rhinebeck for over 10 years, and Rhinebeck used to be very, very large, and it kind of dwindled over the years, and especially with COVID hitting, it took a big hit to its not popularity, but to its volume of traffic. So this year was so nice to see so many people there. The only thing about that is that there were so many people there that I was not able to actually run into a lot of my friends. I wasn't able to find them. So if I missed you, I was actively trying to find people, but based on the cell service that was poor, which always is when you have a group of people like that, it was really hard to meet up. So if I did not get to meet up with you, I am so sorry. I really, really tried. I walked around. I tried to make myself seen and available. The difference this year is that my hair is not pink. My hair is black, and I blend into the crowd, which is great, but made it a little difficult for people to find me. So with that being said, let me start showing you all of the amazing things that I bought from so many great makers this weekend. I have a bag here of things, and I am just going to start pulling stuff out. So before the events actually happened, I had one of my friends come and stay with me And she is located in Montana, which is next to Farmer's Daughter Fibers. She was able to bring with her from Farmer's Daughter Fibers some amazing gifts that she got for me. So first of all, one of those gifts was this incredible bag that is so beautiful. I love it. It is a backpack purse or just a backpack. And it is got this beautiful textured patterning on it. I love it so much. It is so beautiful. So inside here, I have some of the things that she brought with her from Montana for me. One of those was the Pom Pom magazine that Farmer's Daughter Fibers is actually on because she contributed to this publication. This sweater right there is so amazing. A couple people had it on this weekend and oh my God, it is absolutely incredible and how beautiful it is. If you haven't had the opportunity to shop Farmer's Daughter Fibers, I would highly recommend them. I'm using their yarn right now to knit the Big Cozy Cardi from Andrea Mowry, and the yarn is divine. I've never felt anything like it, and I'm using one of her bases. I think it's the Recollect base, and it's just gorgeous. So I plan on making a couple of these patterns out of this. I'm looking through it and oh my God, guys, it's just incredible. I'm going to hold it this way so I don't pull the pattern out. Maybe, there we go. So we don't want to focus. Just a stunning, gorgeous addition. So she brought me that, and she brought me a little unfinished business knit it quit it pin right there for my pin board. And then, without knowing what she was getting me, I mean, I'm sure she knew what she was getting me. So what she brought me was these beautiful clay pottery bowls. And she bought them for me so that I might store my stitch markers in them. But what she didn't know, this is my friend Wanda I'm talking about, what she didn't know was that she actually bought me an amazing supported spindle bowl. So this is one of my spindles that I've had for a very long time. It was made by someone no longer in the industry. And this is a supported spindle. And just look at that spin with this bowl. Ah! And with this one, this is more like, this is the perfect size for me to fit in one of my spindle bags that I'm traveling with. And also it spins beautifully. And this is not focusing, but you can see the point here of what's going on. So she bought them for me as spindle bowls, and as stitch marker bowls, and they are absolute wonderful spinning bowls, supported spinning bowls. So I am so in love with this. Additionally, I love, and I swear my spirit animal is the raven. I love shiny things. I love jewelry. I just am obsessed with the underworld and death and skeletons and everything. And if you don't know, a raven or a crow is an omen of death. Not in a bad way. I don't know how to say that in a good way, but that's what they've been known throughout history. They're also associated with the goddess Morrigan, which is a Celtic goddess of war and strife. And she was known to be able to shape shift into a crow or a raven and assume that form. I love ravens, and Firefly Notes is the maker of this tin, who I have had her advent calendar before, and I really like her stuff. She's got great stuff, especially the way that she does the front of these tins. I don't know if it's if it's resin or what, but it is just absolutely beautiful. You can find them in local yarn shops around the country. They are just phenomenal. So that was she also got me a sweatshirt, a knitting sweatshirt, and I actually wore it a couple times already in the Vlogtober vlogs, and I didn't want to put it on again because I've been wearing it out, but I absolutely love it so much. Okay, so that was from Farmer's Daughter Fibers, which is not Rhinebeck, but it's all part of my weekend. So then from Cakepalooza, I was able to visit one of my favorite makers. Well, a lot of my favorite makers were there, guys. And a lot of them I am so happy to call friends. And like, I'm so grateful that I know them and I have them in my life and I can interact with them on social media and hear about their day and say hello and reach out. And it's so wonderful, this community. So the first booth I visited that I was able to get something from was Shayla of Black Pearl Magic. This year, I did not get a vinyl bag from her, but, excuse me, I need a drink. I'm sorry, that hardly ever happens, but with my allergies this season, I am struggling. So the first thing I was able to buy was this adorable little project bag. And I love this rainbow. You guys know how much I love rainbows. And how adorable is this? This is the perfect bag for a small sock project or something similar. But I am actually using it to house my Desert Panda Fiber Arts Advent calendar. It's a spinning calendar, and I have fiber in here that I am actually using this bag to spin with. I love it so much. It is so cute. I have a thing for small things, and anything that comes miniaturized, I am absolutely in love with. So I had to have one of these bags. There were so many bags that I wanted. I wish I could have got them all. She does an amazing job, but I was being conservative, and this is the only one I got from her. You can probably hear my puppies in the background, and I really apologize for that. They are being so needy right now. I'm not paying attention to them, and they're letting me know how unhappy they are. So the next thing that I got at Cakepalooza was from one of my favorite makers, Moon and Yarn. Moon and Yarn had a booth with Lock Knits, who is another one of my favorite people. She is a bag maker and tattoo artist that I am planning a tattoo from. I'm gonna get it together, figure out what I want, but I know I want her to do it. I love her style. I love the aesthetic, and I can't wait to have artwork done with her. So here's what I got at Moon and Yarn Craft Room. Moon and Yarn is run by Brandan, and she has opened up the Moon and Yarn Craft Room physical brick and mortar in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is about 6 hours from me. It is a little far, but what I would love to do is go up there and spend a night and a day and spend the day in the store, hang out and enjoy myself, and take a trip back the next day so that I don't have to worry about driving 6 hours both ways. I apologize for there being a break in my video. My dog started losing it and I had to take care of him. So I was talking about Moon and Yarn Craft Room and how excited I am to visit and spend time up there because she has opened a weaving shop. And yes, it has yarn. And yes, it has spinny fiber, but it also has weaving supplies. And Brienne's artwork and weaving is absolutely incredible. And I don't know how to spin like that. I have not done an art yarn or a chunky or a coarse spun yarn. And that seems to be how her weavings are made. And they're just stunning. And it's like a completely different fiber art within the fiber arts community that I haven't gotten to yet, but I will. So here is the fiber from the back of it. You can see all the sparkle and just how gorgeous this is. This is 2.6 ounces of Romney wool with Angelina Firestar and mulberry silk and locks in it. I love that, and I cannot wait to spin this. So I believe that those are the only things that I bought from Cakepalooza. I might be wrong because I have everything in a bag and there might be something on the bottom, but I'm fairly certain that that was all I picked up from that festival. So then we went to Wool & Folk, and like I said, it was very difficult to get around, but I was able to grab something from one of the vendors, or actually I might have gotten something from a couple different vendors, but one of the vendors that I was able to get to was Supernova Dye Works. And I have never heard of this company before, but let me tell you what a fun booth this was. One of the team was wearing this tinsel rainbow coat that was so just fun and incredible, and the whole booth was so inviting. The yarn was beautiful, all the colors were right up my alley, and I can't believe I haven't heard of them before. So Supernova Dye Works is actually based out of Michigan, mid-Michigan, and here are some of the fiber I picked up. So here's their label, Supernova Dye Works. And this is called Vibe Check. It's 70% merino wool and 30% icicle stellina, 4 ounces. So there's the band. And look at the spark, guys. There is so much sparkle in this. Like, it is so gorgeous. How was I supposed to go home without this? The answer is I couldn't, which is why it's here. But look at that. Oh my God, I cannot wait to spin that. And then I couldn't, one was not enough because there were so many there that were so beautiful. I wanted them all, but I limited myself to 2. And this one is called Swamp Monster in Love, and it is the same base. Look at this colorway. So beautiful. I've actually never seen a base with this much sparkle in it. I'm not saying they're not out there. I'm just saying I have never come across so much sparkle, and it is phenomenal. If you know me, I am like sparkle, neon, glitter, like you name it, and I love it. So for me to find something so sparkly really made my heart happy. And then I spent a little bit of time talking to the dyer and talking to their team, and it was a good time. I was able to do that, and I'm very happy that I was able to have that positive interaction that day because I definitely needed it. The other thing that I got from, I'm trying not to speak down, I'm sorry. The other thing that I got from Wool & Folk was from Teal Torch Knits, which I was so excited that she was there because Teal Torch Knits, her whole color aesthetic matches everything I love. And I've been wanting to order from her for a long time. And I did order her My Little Pony Advent Calendar. I got the full box in DK weight because I have so many fingering weight minis that I'm going to have plenty of fingering weight minis for a blanket or whatever I choose to make out of them. But I want to do a chunkier or thicker blanket, granny stripe. I love doing the granny stripe blanket, and I want to do one in DK weight. So I started off my collection of DK weight minis with the Teal Torch Knits advent calendar that I'll be getting this Christmas. So when we were walking, I was able to see a Stephen West shawl. It is the Winter Lights shawl, and she had it done in rainbow. The main color is speckled rainbows, and it is an 80-20. Just look at how beautiful this is. So this is the main color for the shawl. And then she said that every time Stephen called for a contrast color, she substituted one of the rainbow minis in this kit. So this is a fingering weight kit. It's called the Neon Rainbow Set. You can see there. And it is so beautiful. So beautiful. And I cannot wait to make this shawl. So that'll be for the Stephen West Winter Light shawl. I'll be recreating that because I have to have one. It was stunning. All right. So then we moved on to, well, that was Friday, so it wasn't all together, but the next day we made it to the Rhinebeck Festival. The only thing that I wanted this year for the Rhinebeck Festival was a Moosey spindle by Bosworth. I have had my eye on a Moosey spindle for years. I actually did purchase and own one like maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and the one I had chosen was too heavy, and I spin rather thin. It's funny because when you're spinning and you're learning to spin, you kind of start off spinning thick because you're not sure how to draft yet. And then as you practice more and you get better, you learn to spin thinner and thinner, like to get a fingering weight. I have been working on spinning thin and trying to get a fingering weight for so long that I almost cannot spin worsted weight anymore. I can't make my hands do it. I don't know why. So I have to like work backwards and like relearn how to spin heavier. But all that to say, my Moosey was too heavy, and all I wanted this year was a Bosworth spindle, and it was in my budget, a Moosey spindle, and it was in my budget to buy one this year. The Moosey spindles are made from moose antler that have been shed organically. They shed their antlers and then they're harvested from the ground, and they cut them and they make them into spindles. Every single one is different. It has different variations of color. It has different variations of size and weight and texture. And I'll show you the one that I got this year. So I've already started spinning my Desert Panda Fiber Arts fiber from the advent calendar on this, which is what's on here. And this is this year's Moosey. I'm trying to show you as much as I can how beautiful the coloring and how smooth it is. It does have texture right here, so they're not always going to be 100% smooth and perfect, and I love that. And then all of the shafts were made out of different woods, and my is king wood, which I think is pretty cool because like king of the forest, moose, I don't know. It just, a moose are huge, and to me, king wood sounds like something regal that would go with a moose. So I'm very happy with this purchase. And I'm going to show you guys, let me see if now that I say that, I'm probably going to mess this up, but I want to show you guys how perfect this spins. All right, so now that I said that I'm going to do it, now I'm worried that I'm going to mess it up, but look at that. I'm actually going to untwist it a little bit. That wobbles from me, but absolutely perfect when it comes to its balance. it was so amazing to be able to get this year. I got to the Bosworth booth as soon as we got to Rhinebeck, and I was running a little late that day. Usually I'm in line before 9 o'clock, and this year I just was not on time, and we made it there about 9:30, and I was starting to panic that he had put the moosies out and I wasn't going to get one because they're very popular and sought after. I made it there around 9:30, and he told me that he was trying to avoid the rush of people trying to get moosies and the initial Rhinebeck rush where everyone is trying to shop for the first time. And he actually saved them and put them back until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was able to relax, calm down, shop a little bit, walk around, and not worry about missing out on a moosie, which thank you, Bosworth, for doing that. That was incredible. And I'm so happy it went that way. I picked up from a vendor, I'm not sure who it was. It was in one of the back barns, and I didn't get their card, but I picked up this adorable little sheep. It was the last one that they had left, and I'm pretty sure you could put pins in it or something, but I actually want to make it accessories, make a little scarf or something, and maybe a little hat and put it on it because it's so cute. And this is gonna go somewhere around here in the yarn room. So yeah, I thought that was adorable. Every now and then, if I see something small that I think would be a cute little accessory for the yarn room, I get it. I can't help myself. I have little sheep all over the place and different things people have given me, and I love it so much. One of the vendors, I'm also, where'd it go? I dropped something, so I don't know where it went. I think it went in the bag. I'll grab it in a second. I found a vendor. Let's see if her Herd of Cats presents road trip sock yarn. See that herd of cats right there? Look at this adorable little hat kit. Does that not scream Vanessa? I mean, look at the pom-pom. The pom-pom is huge. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to make this. A lot of people were asking me if it came with a pattern. And when I first started knitting, after I learned how to make the scarf and the washcloth and different flat items like that, I learned to knit hats and socks, but I didn't learn to knit from a pattern. I learned to design them mathematically. There weren't very many patterns back then that were well established or popular for the basic hat. I feel like a lot of us knitters kind of probably started out learning to do it mathematically as well, and a lot of people just hadn't written patterns, especially with socks. Not saying that there weren't sock patterns, but I learned how to knit my socks toe up, and I learned how to mathematically formulate them to fit any foot perfectly based on measurements. So I don't follow a hat pattern, and I don't follow sock patterns. I'll just be casting on this chunky yarn. It's actually chained. I don't know if you could tell that. It's like a chain link yarn. So I'll just cast on, I'll do the math for the circumference of my head, take away a certain percentage for stretch, do a few inches of ribbing, and then switch and do decreases and put the pom on top. That's how I'm gonna do my hat. So that was so much fun. And she had so many of those different hat kits and different variations of colors and pom-poms, and it was really, really fun. I visited someone I have not heard of before. It's called, or they are called, Cardinal Woodworks. I'm so excited to show you this. This is a crochet hook set. Here is their logo, Cardinal Woodworks, on the back. They made this. They printed this. So you turn this. I'm trying to do this and hide my face so it focuses. So you turn this down to meet that, and then you can pop it open. Here's their card. All right, I'm gonna hold this up and I'm gonna leave that there for a second. I don't know if you guys can scan that off of the television, but if you could, that would be super cool. This is a interchangeable crochet hook set. Brilliantly done. They have, this is a mother of pearl handle. Here we go. It's a mother of pearl handle. And this turns. There's two different styles of these kits. One is a Bates head, one is a boy head. If you don't know the difference, which I always get confused about which is which, I left the tag on here because it actually says what it is because I keep forgetting. So I like the boy style. The boy style has the pointier head on it that the Furls crochet hook uses, that I'm used to and I really like. They also have the Bates, the Susan Bates style crochet hooks, and those have more of a rounded head. I'm sorry, my nose is itching. They have more of a rounded head, and I think that they kind of go more like this as opposed to the way that the Bates ones are. So anyways, inside are the different interchangeable heads, and they've also included a full chart of all the hook sizes, including US and metric. These hooks, I forget where they told me they started at. Oh my God, they're etched too. I didn't even notice they're etched with the millimeters on them. This is incredible. So it starts at, here's a 3.5. She did tell me. What's the smallest? 3. So we got a 3.5 millimeter. My hair is getting up my nose. Here's a 4.5. Here's a 4, 7, 5.5, 6, and 5. An incredible range of sizes. So I'm gonna take this out of it. I gotta take all these hooks out of their baggies. So you loosen this up a little bit. You pop that in there, then you tighten it, and there you go. Guys, stop focusing on me. Look at that. Like, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And this is the mother of pearl. I think I just said that. This is the mother of pearl that I chose. She had so many different kinds, so many different colors. Right now, as of yesterday, I checked to see if they have any of these on their website. They do have some of them on their website, except that they don't have the pictures. So what I'm thinking is happening is I think that they just haven't updated their website after Reinbeck yet, but they probably will be. So I would look out for that and definitely give them a follow and give them their website some attention, because this is an incredible idea. And this set was $75 for the entire set of all those hooks. That's a good price. That is a good price, especially for good crochet hooks. And the little case is just so cute and convenient. This might be, besides the Moosey, this might be like my next favorite thing that I purchased all weekend. Another little thing I got, this is actually from Wool & Folk. Sinful Yarns was there. She's a new vendor. And I got this little adorable Grim Reaper project marker. There we go. Progress keeper. Oh my God, guys. Progress keeper. There we are. He is so cute. He is death and he is happy. I was so fortunate to be gifted a couple things at Reinbeck. I was gifted this adorable yarn cozy from Heather, who is Charmed Kitty on Instagram. I love these skein coats, and this one is so cute and Halloween-y and just such an amazing gift to give to people. There's every Rhinebeck, I will give out stitch markers. I do this every year. I give out stitch markers, and they're small and a small token of my appreciation for you, but they're not that difficult to make or time consuming to make. This is time consuming. This is an amazing gift for someone to be handing out. And I am so appreciative that I was able to get, not that to get one, that I was gifted one. I'm like very, very grateful for that. This is an amazing gift. Thank you so much. Another amazing gift came from my friend Joanna, who is Goddess Crochet on the social medias. She spun me this beautiful skein of yarn. Look at how gorgeous this is. And Joanna, I aspire to be as good a spinner as you because I am not consistent. I don't spin I would say I don't spin consistently. I go back and forth between knitting and I go back and forth between spinning and crochet and all that. And sometimes my consistency is off. And this is just such a beautiful skein of yarn. And she has it marked. It's purple, green, and black merino 3-ply, 146 yards. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. I love it so much. It's Halloween-y, it's sparkle, it is everything I love. One more thing I forgot to mention from Cardinal Woodworks, because I got so excited about the crochet hook set. I picked up this really cool cable needle that has, see, it's thin on the end and then it has like a bump here. Trying to get these. So it has like a bump, like a ridge, and then it's thin again. So it goes from thin to thick to thin to thick. And that's really cool if you're cabling so that your cable needle doesn't fall out of your stitches. And this wasn't very expensive either. It was only $10, which is a great price. And I'm very excited about that. The other thing that Cardinal Woodworks had that was very thoughtful, it was hand spinning labels. So they went out of their way to create a label for you when you spin your yarn to keep track of what you spun and the content and how it was spun and all the information that you would need. There we go. All the information that you would need when you're spinning. So that was really neat. The last thing I'm going to show you is something that I purchased from a comic book store across from our Airbnb. There was a comic book store. I am a huge nerd. I love comics. I don't buy them. I more buy, they're called trade paperbacks, which is if there's a comic series, like let's say like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If there's a comic book series, instead of buying 15 small comics, one after the other, they compile them all into one big book called a trade paperback, and you can read the entire series in one book. So I went to this comic book store. I picked up a couple magic cards, Lord of the Ring magic cards from the Lord of the Rings set that they just released. And there was a local author who was going to be there signing his book. And he wrote a Christmas horror story. It came upon a midnight clear, and there is his name, Dorian L. Sinnott. And I can't wait to read this. This is going to be so much fun. Let's see. It says, it has this little synopsis, and then it says, when the Christmas lights shine and the snow falls heavy, something awakens. Something dark and ancient, cold, and with it unspeakable terrors are born. This looks exciting. So I'm really excited about that. One more thing. I always do this. I did buy something else that was very amazing. How could I forget? If you haven't seen, gotta get our card, finishsheep.net. They have some pretty cool stuff. So I got a spindle from them. I've seen them at Maryland Sheep and Wool. They vend at Maryland Sheep and Wool and Rhinebeck. And I've been eyeing one of these spindles for a while. So these are resin spindles. And look at how gorgeous this is. The only thing I will say about this spindle is that because of the nature of the resin and how thick it's poured, they're quite heavy. This is not a bad thing. This is a technique thing. So this is one of the lighter ones. This is 2 ounces. And if you're going to be using a heavier spindle, you need to spin thicker, because if you spin too thin, the weight will just break it. I would say that this would be good for a beginning spinner based on how spinners start. However, it doesn't spin easily for me because of the weight. So I'm not spinning it hard enough. This means you have to give this a good spin. And what I saw was the owner of this company, she showed me, she spins it off the side of her leg. Like she takes it on her thigh sitting down, and then she spins it off her thigh and gets a really good spin and starts spinning. This is not a technique that I was taught. This is not a technique I'm familiar with, although I want to become familiar with it and learn how to use this technique, because it was really helpful when using this spindle. But because I'm spinning fine and the way that I do, the lighter spindles tend to work better for how I spin and the yarn that I'm spinning. But if I start spinning art yarns and start spinning worsted and thicker again, I do want the heavier spindle. So I love this. It is so beautiful. Look at the artwork in that. They also sell polywog spinning wheels, which are a small compact spinning wheel. And one, it probably sold because I hadn't seen it there, but one of the polywog wheels, they encased in resin like this with the sparkle and the foil. Guys, it was so beautiful. I would have it if it wasn't for my husband telling me a million times not to get it, because I don't need more than all of the spinning wheels I already own. He's right. But it was just an amazing piece of art, and I really wanted to take it home with me, but I'm so glad that someone took it home with them and is enjoying that wheel. I hope they do another one in the future, because I might not be able to resist. I mean, a rainbow resin spindle. Yes. All right, guys. So literally that is all that I have for you today. I promise. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was an incredible weekend. Such a good time at Rhinebeck. I mean, I can't wait for next year. If you have not made the trip, I encourage you, if you have the means to do it, it's something that you should put on your, bucket list to cross off, because it really is truly a magical experience. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you in my next video. I know that I have some loose ends to tie up with giveaways and different things, and I will be addressing that in the next podcast video. Stay tuned for Vlogtober. I will be doing Vlogmas this year. I have advent calendars lined up right now on my Vlogtober. I've been opening up a couple advent calendars for Halloween. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Guys, I have an outtake for you because I keep forgetting to mention an amazing gift. I was not gifted at Rhinebeck. I went to another festival, but I'm going to put this in because it deserves to be mentioned. My friends Aquila and her husband Johnny, who is a lefty knitter podcast, Aquila is, and Johnny is Johnny Bow Dyes Yarn. I found an antique spinning wheel chair at a small festival. It was very old and needed to be reupholstered and refinished. And Johnny was so kind to take it up and make it nitty witch for me. The reason I keep forgetting to show you is because I'm sitting on it. So this is the chair, and he refinished it in black and sparkle for me. And then he reupholstered the seat in tarot cards. I mean, can we get any more nitty witch? So this is now my spinning chair that has kind of become my podcast chair. It's been way too long. He did this for me a while ago. I'm so sorry I didn't mention it sooner. I just keep sitting on it, literally. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Aquila. I love you both. This was an amazing, amazing gift. And one last thing I want to mention before I forget. I would be completely doing everyone a disservice if I did not mention one of the amazing places that we got to visit this weekend. I'm talking about Yarn Farm Kingston. Jocelyn and her husband and her team of people brought such an amazing experience this weekend. I was there multiple times throughout the weekend, and I finally got to sit down and relax on Sunday at the wine bar, and it was incredible. The wine, phenomenal. The cheese, phenomenal. The menu, amazing. Surrounded by yarn, knitting needles, weaving supplies. What more can you ask from an experience? I know that if I want to go to a bar, I would much rather prefer being in one surrounded by knitting. Thank you so much to Yarn Farm Kingston for welcoming us, for the hugs, the love, and for the community that you have built for us in your store. If you guys get the opportunity, please stop by Yarn Farm Kingston on your next trip to the Rhinebeck area, and you will not be disappointed. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. I love you all. Thank you so much.